Hey guys, and welcome back to a new season. We are brand new, second season of the championship. It's our Stars and Stripes and Maple Syrup. We have our regular guest, Sean Coxon, on with us today. Sean, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, no problem.
If I sound a bit echoier than I have in previous shows, it's because I moved to Florida and I don't have my own office. So let's
He's
make
at
the
the
best of
stadium of
this.
light.
Yeah, I'm in the cops box right now. Now if I turn this off, you got all the packing shit behind, so I just figured it's easier to have this on.
Nice
All
one.
right, so excited.
Yeah, I am, mate. Yeah, it's less than a week away. I know I've just been pumped at Hartlepool, but because as we're recording, we've just lost 5-2 to Hartlepool.
Yeah.
So yeah, marvelous.
It's the first of the preseason games that I haven't watched.
It is. I mean, I was nervous, right? Because before the Mallorca game, right, they were saying the last time we won every preseason game, we
Was
got
Moyes.
relegated. Yeah, so I was like, you know what? And then we didn't beat Mallorca, and I thought good. And then tonight, listen, people's making a big song and dance. I mean, none of them are going to start, or with the exception of Patterson, they're not going to start, are they? So you wouldn't have
No.
thought.
I mean, do we have the starting lineup was such that even the players that did start weren't exactly playing in position.
Yeah,
So it's like it was a run out. It was like get some extra time in your legs before the season starts
yeah,
and go from there. I don't think anybody can be really overly upset at the result. I mean, yeah, you never want to get pumped by a non-league or League Two side.
League Two, aren't they? Yeah,
No, I think they went down, didn't they?
did they really? There you go.
Yeah, I don't remember. No, I do. I think they went down at the end of last season. I think they finished
I,
second bottom.
I say there was some mags there again. Gee, they
There's
love it.
always they're tedious twats. They really are. I mean, we had them in San Antonio. We had them
Yeah,
again in Albuquerque, and I'm sure there was some moronic twats turned
oh,
up in North
me,
Carolina
honestly,
as well.
yeah,
I mean,
honestly,
for fuck's sake. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the starting 11, you had the kid Young, then you
yeah,
had Gooch, Triantis, Bath, and Johnson, Taylor and Rigg in the middle, Huggins, Bennett, Barr, Pritchard. I mean, that starting 11 doesn't have a recognized striker.
nah,
Um, between Taylor and Rigg, the central midfield players, they've got a combined age of nearly 30.
yeah, it's crazy,
So, I
isn't
mean,
it?
it's like Bennett's 19, Barr's, I mean, and from what I understand, Lahadji was supposed to start,
He's done,
but
isn't he?
I don't know whether he's leaving on a permanent deal
Yeah,
or whether he's leaving on loan. But yeah, it looks as though he's gone on. Your dad's best mate, Luke O'Nine, had a
yeah,
family issue he had to take care of, so he didn't travel with the team. So it's look, let's be honest. I mean, Young is 16,
yeah.
Rigg is 16, Taylor's 17, Bennett's 19, Barr's 20. Um, we shouldn't be losing to Hartlepool, but it's a nothing game,
Yeah,
nothing at stake. And it should have just been a run out, but hey, it is what it is. But overall, it's been a good preseason.
it has been. I mean, listen, time will tell whether the whole because listen, I'm buzzing we came to America because obviously we live here and it, people are going. It's a lot. I mean, if you look at the three games, the players were fucked, weren't they? Were wrecked, weren't they? Like
Oh, they were absolutely pagged.
we met them in San Antonio, and listen, credit to the club because they were brilliant. You know, with the open training sessions and stuff, but the players were wrecked, and you just think they should be super fit when they're like. I wasn't at Albuquerque. I know you were, but I heard it was even hotter. So
It wasn't so much that it was hotter; it was just the fact that we were at altitude. So it was still 105, 106 degrees
yeah,
Fahrenheit, but we were at 6,000 feet of altitude.
yeah,
So even like I got to my hotel on the night of the open training,
right,
and I was meeting Paulie at the bar, and it's a quarter of a mile walk, and it was uphill, but I mean nothing that I hadn't been doing in San Antonio and do every day,
yeah.
even if I am a fat fuck. But
Even
honestly,
said
man, I thought my lungs were gonna jump out of my chest and give up. The altitude made it so much harder to catch your breath. It was that, you know how when you that first training session of winter when you're out in the cold and you can feel it
it
in the
hits
back
your
of your
lungs.
throat. That's
Yeah.
how it was. I was like, Jesus Christ, how do you live in
But
this shit?
it was the same in San Antonio. I mean, because you know where we stayed because we're in the same place. even walking to the river walk, you go in 8 minutes, and then you just go, I'll just get an Uber. It was just too hot, mate. You just couldn't bear to be outside. So I just think, from the player standpoint, like, they were sweating, they were lathered, and I mean, so time will tell whether it'll be good for them. You know what I mean?
I think it was. I think if you look at the way that we played against Mallorca on
the first
Saturday,
half were brilliant, weren't we? Yeah.
even in the second half, though, we didn't make many changes, but there weren't. It wasn't as if they were flagging at the end of the game. I mean, at the end of both the New Mexico and the North Carolina games, they were wrecked because they were playing a full 90.
Yeah.
But when you look at them at the end of the Real Mallorca game, it was like, okay, you can see the fitness in there. You can see the strength trainings come off. You can see the altitude trainings helped.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why when your world-class boxers go into training camp, it's normally
they go to Big Ben stuff, of course they do.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. They go there a few months before, don't they? So, like you say, there's a reason why they all do it.
But yeah, I mean, look, to mention the point you said earlier with regards to how good the team were, I saw them on the Monday after everybody had left San Antonio. They did the river walk on their own when they thought everyone was gone. And on that one daft Sunderland supporter, like, lads, how I'll buy you a pint. No, they can't have a pint. So I ended up, what was supposed to be my day off for Mad Dogs ended up being a 7-hour session.
Nice.
So, but no, I mean, every player that you bumped into, even under trying conditions. So when we left Albuquerque to go home, well, as I was going home and they were heading up North Carolina, we had a couple of hours delay. Some of the coaches and the management staff were supposed to be on a 6:20 flight in the morning.
They got delayed, didn't they?
That flight got cancelled. The 10 whatever it was that I was going to be on was 2 hours late.
I bet it was United. The shit then.
No, it was American.
Oh, was
apparently the first flight had a puncture, and they didn't have any spare wheels, and they were hoping that United would lend them a wheel. Well, apparently you can't make this shit up.
Should have went to Mavis, shouldn't it?
Quick fit.
There's always a Mavis flowing.
You can't get better than a quick fit fitter, though. They're the boys to trust.
Yeah.
But so you've got the entire all 50 or so Sunderland's players and support staff are all milling around the airport, and the Sunderland fans are also coming in because they're moving on to the next destinations as well. And honestly, I didn't see a single player or coach or anybody refuse a photo or a handshake or anything. I mean, even in Albuquerque on the meet and greet, they were absolutely fantastic. You ask them awkward questions and they're giving you honest answers.
Yeah.
I asked Jack Clark whether it was insulting that Burnley were only bidding 9 million for them when you had Wolves offering 20 million for the kid from Bristol.
Yeah.
And he's like, honestly, mate, it doesn't bother us. He said, I can't control what somebody else wants to pay for me.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it's like in years gone past, you would never have got the access to the club.
You wouldn't have done. I mean, listen, when we met Mowbray in San Antonio, he was class, mate. He wouldn't shut up. He was brilliant, wasn't he?
If you think back to when we met Moyes and his squad in New York, like there was a big chunk of that squad who stayed away from the fans.
Yeah.
And like it took a few players to kind of come over and kind of talk to us. But like this was just everybody. There was nobody turning anybody away. It was fantastic.
Nah, it wasn't, mate. It was great.
Yeah, so I mean, look, I've really enjoyed the close season.
Yeah,
I've been joking on that. My friend knows the owner of Miami FC, not Inter Miami with Messi, the USL team.
Okay.
And so now all I want Sunderland to do for next summer is to start off in Charleston at the Battery, come down to Tampa, play the Rowdies, and then finish off in Miami and play Miami FC.
Yeah, it'll be a few before we do it again, I would think.
They did 2 years in a row last time, a couple of years ago when they did Charleston on the next year they did the West Coast.
I would love it. I would love it if they did. I really would. And I know for me as well, like just having me dad on the tour and stuff, you know.
Your dad is a legend, mate.
Oh, he loved it, mate. He loved it, mate.
Hopefully he got home safe and sound, did he?
He did, mate. Yeah, he found himself like, I think he had like 300,000 views on Instagram. He's like, what's Instagram? And I'm like, well, it's like Facebook. And he's like, well, I don't know what it is. So I had to set that up for him, and then he's like, I can't find that video, and I'm like, you've got to guarantee, honestly, useless, mate, really.
How
But
old's your dad? He's pushing 70.
66.
Yeah,
So,
see. You ask my dad to find something on Facebook, and you ask me mum.
yeah, so I was just laughing. He was like, I was like, oh, you're on Twitter? He was like, well, what's Twitter? And I was just like, I went, well, it's like Facebook's alternative, you know?
I was shocked at how, because I wasn't like at the that's at the San Antonio kind of training. I wasn't that bothered about getting down pitch side and talking with the players and stuff. I was just quite happy watching.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how many pictures I turned up in the background of though.
Ah, mate, you're on loads, aren't you? Yeah.
But no, but again, it's another example of getting those players to come over the sideline.
It is.
And
Of course
Mowbray
it
was
is.
the one who's like getting like, how well lads, come and take these pictures,
Yeah,
and
they
just
were
getting them
sound.
all just to take the selfies with us in the background was fantastic.
Yeah, they were brilliant, mate. They were, you know.
So new season coming up.
Yeah.
Ipswich on Sunday.
hmm
Confident?
I mean, do you think we're weaker or stronger? I mean, I've heard a lot of people saying weaker. How? We you know,
I
we're
think
not
people
weak.
just look at the fact that we don't have a mad.
Yeah, but say
And
we've got a lot more height in the team now, haven't we? If you
well,
look at, you know, we've got some big boys in the team. We've got
I pointed that out at the we had the NASA monthly talk on Sunday night, and one of the things we mentioned was the fact that when Mallorca were coming in and pushing us at the keeper, Patterson had that outlet to be able to just hoof it up to Hemea and for Hemea just to hold the ball up, which he does really well. And that kind of took some pressure off the defenders. We were able to then spread it out to the wingers and kind of get some forward play going. Whereas last season we would have been passing it around 100 times and have been 20 yards forward. So,
but even you look like Ekwa, you look at Bellingham. There's some big boys now, even in the middle of the park.
I mean, did you see how big that is? It Stilt? Is that his name?
He's a big. I mean, fucking
He's
how's you look?
17'6".
He's injured though, isn't he?
What was funny is he was training on his own in San Antonio. So while all the players were in the middle of the field, you had Stilt and somebody else out of the back corner, and he still looked the same height as half the team.
Yeah,
like even with perception. But I mean, if I look at the transfers for us this season, blah blah blah, and I know there's a lot of talk about the players that we didn't bring in, but we brought in Bellingham from Birmingham, who's going to be a player.
He is.
Nobody knows about Mayenda because he knocked his hamstring already. You got Sealed. Semedo's come in and look really good. I think Bradley Dack, if he can stay injury free, will be a good signing.
He's a bit of an ugly looking tramp like you, isn't he?
Who, Dack?
Yeah.
I'm not as ugly as Dack, mate. He reminds me of what was his the dude from
William Story.
No,
a fat one.
Guy used to have a TV show on before I left the US in the 90s and early 2000s about a football club. Dream Team. He looks like Carl?
Yeah.
Looks like the guy from Dream Team.
Right.
But if you look at who we've released or we've sold, well, we haven't really sold anybody. Diaco we sold for an undisclosed fee. He was no big. Winchester never played last year.
Yeah.
And then everybody, the only other person who's gone out, you got Anderson has gone out on loan, Bass has gone out on loan. So Bailey Wright is the only body with any real minutes from last season who's gone.
Yeah, and he had to, didn't he?
He was a liability. His legs have gone. I mean, look, his first game in Singapore and he got sent off.
Yeah, he got a red card. Class. That's
we only really got rid of youngsters who weren't going to cut it, and Carl Winchester. I thought Winchester got a bit of a short deal. I mean, he was never good enough for the championship, but given how much of an impact he made getting us promoted, I would have liked to see him given a chance. But no, you look at who's come in with the guys who've come in. I mean, I think with the exception of Dark and Bellingham, anyone who told you they knew anything about the other guys is liar.
Yeah.
But no, and that was another thing, getting to speak with ownership, like we're speaking with KLD, with Juan Sartori, with Speakman, is just how open and honest they were in their responses.
I bet you were noshing them right off, were you?
Oh, mate. I mean, I was trying to play it down because I didn't want to look like a twat. I mean, it's not like they're Gordon Armstrong, but I jokingly said to Juan Sartori at the mixer in Albuquerque, I'm like, didn't you join us so you could bring in all these Uruguayan kids? And he's like, oh fuck. He's like, if I told you we had 3 or 4 lined up this summer that were gonna come over and come and play with us, he said, then Uruguay go and win the under-20 World Cup, and now every player's 5 million plus. And I'm like, it's a good line if it's true.
Yeah, I bet it's fucking dry. I bet.
But it would just be our luck. Like
Yeah.
we've got the next Luis Suarez about to sign for us, and then he goes and wins the Junior World Cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ipswich,
Yeah.
what do you think? They're getting tipped to do quite well this season.
I think they will, I think they've got some good players and had a good season. I mean, the League One last season was all over, wasn't it? No one wanted the team to go up, and Ipswich done really well, didn't they? So it's going to be a tough game, and playing a newly promoted team early, it's always tough, man, isn't it? So it's always difficult.
So they finished second, I think, didn't they?
I think
because Sheffield Wednesday went up with a crazy playoff run.
Didn't they win the league, Ipswich?
Nah, Plymouth won the league with 101 points.
Which they did with Matete, of course, that's right. Yeah.
Matete's going to be out for a while injured, so that curse keeps going. But if you look at I looked at the Optus supercomputer and what it thought people were going to do this season. And they're it's the only thing I've seen where Ipswich aren't favoured.
Right.
Like if I look at the Bet365 odds, Ipswich is 16-1 to win the league. That's better odds than Sunderland.
Yeah.
16-1 puts them with Watford and Norwich, who I think were gash last season.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they've really strengthened enough to make you think other than they'll be gash again this season. I think West Brom need new ownership.
Yeah.
I think they're getting it's almost like their boss is having to. It's almost like he's been asked to play piano with boxing gloves on.
Well, they've just signed Josh Madger, haven't they?
Ooh.
They have, haven't they?
Josh Madger was an okay striker in League One for us.
He was a Netflix sensation, as he said.
A Netflix sensation, my bell end.
That's what he said.
Is that what he said, is it?
Yeah. He said something
My mum said I was a Netflix sensation.
He said something like, I was a Netflix sensation and a star, now I find myself without a club. Something stupid like that on his Instagram, yeah.
I mean, what do you expect when players say stupid things? I've just realised you didn't log in on the laptop, did you? You're on your phone.
I am, mate.
Rotate yourself. It's not that I want to see more of you, but it just makes it easier to edit later on.
There you go.
And now I'm going to have to fucking change the editing. All right, never mind.
Good lad.
All right, so new season.
Yeah.
We are 20-1 to go up. It's worth a $5 for our charity bet.
It is.
So this season's charity is the Soup Kitchen.
Right.
What I did last year, instead of donating money, I just sent them a whole load of groceries. So the money that we had in the kitty at the end of the season, I think it was like 70 quid.
Nice.
By the time we did this, so we did that, so they were quite happy with that. I spoke with the last and asked her if she minded us using them as our charity for this year. She was like, no, whatever we can do for them would be fantastic. So what I'm saying we'll do is we'll do the £5 or $5 bet for me and obviously my guest each week. We'll stop it just before Christmas. We'll do a whole shop for whatever we've made.
Yeah.
We'll just before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then run it again to the end of the season.
Nice one.
All right. So I'm going to do $5 on Sunderland to win the league.
Oh, nice one, eh?
That would be 100 if we win it. Not that we will. I don't think we've got the team to do it, but okay. So what should we expect this season, Shawnee? Are we going to be upset if we don't make the playoffs?
Yeah, of course I am. It's fair. Like, listen, right? These owners had last season was a buy, and last season was a sort of, a free pass for them. This season isn't, man. We can't spend this amount of time in this league. We can't. So they need to get us up, and I think they failed last season. And listen, it was a great season, and I just think they fell short. So We've got to go up, mate. We'll have to.
I'm going to disagree with you, mate. I still don't think the team's ready. I didn't think we were ready last season. I thought it would have been a mistake. If we got up, we'd have been regretting it.
We're only not ready because of the owners.
Nah.
Because if we had all the money in the world with this young team, you'd say, yeah, of course we're ready because we can just go and spend 200 million in the Premier League. We're only not ready because they're making we're not ready for the Premier League.
How are they making us not ready?
Well, because they won't spend fuck all.
But that's not that's not true though.
Well, you know,
3 million on Bellingham. It's not exactly cheap.
well, did they pay that though?
I mean, he's down as an undisclosed, but the papers are saying that he's 3 million with add-ons.
But then they're quibbling over the price of strikers. You know.
Well, would you have paid 7 million for Ellis Sims?
I wouldn't have done. No, you're right there. Not a chance, would I? No way. He wasn't worth it.
I think that 4 million rising to 7, if he fucking scores 1 million goals a season, would have been all right.
And listen, let's be honest. If we can get the kid, if we can get this Tom Cannon in,
he's going to Preston. I just saw it tonight.
Is he? Fucking
well, I say he's going to Preston. It's Alan Nixon who broke the story. So
right,
he could have signed for Sunderland already, and you know what Nixon's like, his shite hawk that he is.
Yeah, he's a twat, isn't he? But it's a shame because he's a good player, isn't he?
So, I mean, he only scored 6 times last season.
Yeah, but you know,
from what I was reading, $1 million loan deal to go to Preston for the season.
Right.
And I wouldn't have wanted to spend $1 million on a loan deal.
Nah.
So when we spoke to Speakman, he said that we were in for 4 strikers, that would look good for 2. And in that time, you've got Cannon, who looks as though he could be going to Preston.
Yeah.
You've got this Croatian kid who went somewhere in Belgium. So.
And then the lad went to Hibs, didn't he?
I know, and we did pick up the young striker from Sochaux, but he's out injured for a couple of months.
He included, or
I don't know. I mean, look, I still think we need 2 strikers. I don't think you can rely on an 18 and a 19-year-old.
I'll tell you, I think centre back's going to be interesting because
move your finger.
There, good lad. I think centre back's going to be interesting because we've got more height there now this season, right? So do you think 09's going to fit in?
No, I don't see a place in the team for 09.
You know, I was thinking that tonight. It broke me heart. I was devastated. But then you look at it and go, surely he's got to play Bath and Ballard. He has to, mate.
You would think so, but for whatever reason, they don't seem to fancy Ballard. Why'd your hands to...
Because it keeps going dark. So I don't know if it's going dark at your end.
No, it's not. Are you running out of battery power? Are you on low power mode?
No, I'm not. It's just when your screen's inactive.
This is what happens when you can't work your lass's computer out, isn't it?
Listen, when your screen's inactive, right, it just goes dark, doesn't it?
I can still see you. Right. So yeah, so I can't understand why they haven't been pairing up Ballard and Bath. I know there was rumors of Bath going off to Blackburn, and then Blackburn's owner said, "Wait, we're not spending another penny."
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of put the kibosh on that move. 09's not a central defender. He's okay to cover. He's okay to come in for a couple of games and cover injuries. Yeah. I think if you look at the back 4 right now, I think Trihume and Sirkin are first choice fullbacks. I think with Gooch and where'd you go?
There you go. My screen went off, you see, because it gets dark.
So we got, I was saying Gooch and who's the other fullback? Huggins.
Huggins, yeah.
A decent cover. I know we were linked with a right back from PSG today.
Yeah, we're happy, haven't we?
But again, how much of that is just paper talk, given that we brought in Michu from PSG last year? Yeah, I think Alessi and Ballard are probably our best 2 central defenders. But when you look at how good Bath was last season and how much we missed him when he was out,
you can't.
I'd run his legs off this season and then let him leave free at the end of next season.
But he cannot surely. The fact that 09 played so much pre-season, he's not going to drop him, is he?
I don't see it. And look, he's good at one thing. But if you look at it, given the option of Ballard, who's got to be our best defender right now.
Yeah.
All right. When Alessi's back, O'Nine's not as good as Alessi. He doesn't have the height. He doesn't have the positional awareness.
Agreed.
He's got the heart and he's got the shithousery. But other than that, I play Alessi every week.
So that.
Your fullbacks, he's not going to beat any of the fullbacks in. He might be better cover than Gooch at the right back, but other than that, he's not going to take Neil or Equa or Bellingham's place in midfield. And so now you think, okay, well, where's he going to play? Now that we've brought in Bradley Dack, we've still got Pritchard on the team.
Yeah.
I just don't see a space for O'Nine when everybody's fit. Impact sub, but he's not really going to want to sign a new contract to be an impact sub.
Exactly, yeah. He's signed a new deal, isn't he? So, yeah, it's a tough one, mate. It really is.
He's a great character, and look, I mean, your dad gave him a big kiss on the in San Antonio, but he was fantastic with the entire club, with all the fans.
Yeah,
like fantastic. That's the epitome of what I want from a Sunderland player.
Absolutely, yeah.
He understands the fans. He buys into what the fans are talking about and what the fans are looking for in a player, and delivers. Yeah, look, he's not the most skillful player. He's not the fastest, but
there comes a time where you need centre backs and you need a bit of height, you know. And we've had last season. Okay, we had to do what we did, right? But this season, the fact that, like you say, Bath and Ballard are back now.
Let's be honest, if we had Alessi, Bath and Ballard available for the Luton games, then there's no way they would have beaten us over 2 legs.
No, of course I wouldn't have done.
Because they're pumping it up for every game. Every attack wouldn't have worked.
Exactly. And I just think we've got to move on from it, you know. We've got to move on from it and say we've got to be better equipped.
But what I do like is when you look at the players that we've brought in, Bellingham is fantastic on the ball. Kid's got some feet on him. Equa, that screamer he scored against
it was mint.
Against Albuquerque or
Albuquerque.
Like just the fact that they're not small players anymore, but they still have such good feet. That's what's impressed me. I mean, was Triantis, the Aussie, he likes the ball on the deck. He likes to play it about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really quietly confident about this season.
That good Aussie footballer said no one ever at any time.
They've had a couple. Harry Cole was decent. Who was the guy that went to Everton and then went to Red Bulls when he was shit?
Yeah, Tim Cahill.
Yeah, that's him.
And Viduka was okay, wasn't he?
I think the clubs he played for kind of cloud my judgment. I mean, Leeds, Newcastle, and Middlesbrough doesn't exactly endear you to Sunderland fans.
Fuck me.
All right, so where do you think we finish? Do we finish automatic? Do you happy with a 5th or 6th place finish?
I mean, listen, I just want to get promoted. I would take the playoffs again. I think the league, it's unpredictable, isn't it? And like, there's going to be, I mean, like Leicester, like the likes of Vardy and stuff playing in the league.
But Vardy's 97 years old, man.
Yeah, he's going to piss this league out, mate.
But he didn't piss he struggled with reduced playing time last season. He's not going to get you've seen how much difference the Championship is from the Premier League and how much difference the Championship is from League One. Right. I think that I think Vardy's has played soft for too many years. I don't think he scores 10 goals this season.
Big statement.
But
even like the South.
All right, so there you go. I'll do that as another $5 bet. Vardy 10 goals or less.
Go on. That's a good bet. I'm just moving, mate. I want to sit on the couch.
All right.
Be back, so. Just like yours was. Every time I got an Uber.
Oh man, that was. I was sat in the Uber like this.
Listen, you came along at the optimum time and went, I've got an Uber. I've got an Uber. I'll just jump in, and then fucked off.
No, I didn't.
3 times.
The first. Oh no. No, I did. You're right. No, first night we went back to the pub.
Right.
Second night, I mean, it took me half an hour to walk the 8-minute walk.
It did.
I had to go to a chiropractor twice in San Antonio to straighten out. Fortunately, I got a new chiropractor now, and they seem to have sorted me out.
Not as bad as the old man who gave us the haircut.
The old man who gave you the haircut?
You saw it, didn't you?
No?
You did, man. When I went to the barbers, so I scouted out the barbers. It was hot as fuck, right? And I thought I need a haircut, right?
You got your haircut in San Antonio?
I showed you, man.
Mate, I was drunk for 6 days. I mean, I don't remember any.
Anyway, it was when you first arrived, right? I was in the foyer, and I just scouted the barbers. I thought I'll have a look online, I'll see. And I seen this one 2 minutes away. I thought I'll go in there, and I walked in. Instantly when you've made a mistake, he was right. I thought, oh, he's an old fucking man. But I was already in the chair. I thought, fuck it. He gave us a shave with a cut through. It was mint, right? But the hair, mate, was fucking terrible, really bad. He was terrible with the clippers. And then I paid something like $45. And then that night I was walking past and I seen a Mexican doing the lines and everything. And I thought, what a bastard, I should have went there. yeah. I had to get it redone when I come back.
All right, back to Sunderland. All right, so I bravely said that Vardy will score less than 10 goals. We'll have to try and find a market for that. I think we finished 9th. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to follow the same kind of like it's easy to do it one season when nobody really knows what to expect from you. But I think teams are going to know how to close us down. Although now that you can't time waste the way you could last season, that's going to create a new challenge as well for teams that come to the Stadium of Light for sure.
Mate, I mean, we can't accept it though, can it? I'll be raging.
Look, I know you'll be raging. I know I have to listen to you during every match we don't win.
Yeah, good.
But it's not. This has never been a one season and done thing for Dreyfus and for Speakman. It's about building a sustainable model, and that's why they didn't chuck 30-40 million at it, because we don't have it to chuck.
Yeah, but you know what? They've got fans back on side, and I haven't got to say anything. You just watch how much fans fuck off if they don't go up this season.
Well, that's because they're fickle as fuck.
Yeah, they're not though.
They are though, mate. They are.
Nah, they're not, man. They're entitled to their opinion, mate.
I didn't say they weren't entitled to their opinion, but when it comes to match going, you've got so many fickle fans these days.
They've put up with so much shit, mate. They're entitled to fucking... I think they're under-fickle myself, whatever the word of not fickle is, you know.
You clearly don't look at Sunderland Twitter. Then.
Nah, but I just mean... the shit they've put up with down the years, man, and people go, they're fickle, and they're still selling 35,000 season tickets. Nah, it's not fickle, mate.
We are. No. I mean, look, compared to 15, 20, 30 years ago, we're such fucking fickle fans. And it's not just Sunderland fans, it's every fan of every club.
It's everyone wants something.
Because everyone's got a Twitter account and thinks that their opinion matters.
Everyone, of course.
Everyone's got a fucking podcast and I've given it this.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's a politician, everyone's a fucking manager, everyone. So,
everyone's a COVID expert. Well, Mrs. Johnson down the street said that if you dip your balls in honey and let your lass lick it off, you'll never get COVID. I tried that with a wife. You wouldn't believe us. I had honey on my balls for 6 months and she wouldn't lick it off.
It's probably just mistook it for your fucking ginger pubes, you know?
Nah. Did you see the picture that Jodie took?
Which one?
It was in one. I don't know if you were in the group chat because you ignored all those group chats in the build-up. No, so I'm sat on a chair, legs akimbo, and just like my nuts are just there. Big old moose knuckle nuts. And he just shared it amongst the group. I was like, thanks, Jodie.
Really good lad. I met him, by the way, at the Alamo. He was a good kid.
Jodie's nice. I mean, nice. Jodie's a canny lad. Look, the fact that there was only one incident of issue in San Antonio for the whole trip and that was some Yank decided to take exception to one of the lads. And he did it to a former squaddy. So when the squaddy stood up to try and calm things down, and he looked as though he was going to get hit, he just headbutted him.
That squaddy was a good lad. Is it the one I'm thinking?
Darren.
He was a fucking good kid.
Darren was a good lad, yeah.
I didn't know you had some bother. Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah, it didn't last long. The bouncer took the American lad out and Darren went on drinking.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the match. Ipswich on Sunday.
Right.
Let's have a look and see who they've signed. That's the betting odds. So they've brought in Kieran Slicker from Man City, who I've never heard of.
No.
Jack Taylor from Peterborough, League One player. I don't even know who Waterside Karori are, but they brought in the kid from there. George Hurst from Leicester and Amari Hutchison on loan. So it's not exactly what they did last year to get out of League One, where they were spending money.
George Horst.
George Horst, I guess. But they've let a lot go. And okay, a lot of those younger kids have gone out, but Joe Piggott, who they picked up to score goals last season, has left them. And they haven't made any money. And I think that's been, with the exception of maybe Leicester, I think that's been the big issue, is nobody's really sold any talent this year.
Yeah.
And made any decent money. I mean, Leicester have made, 80 million on 2 players?
Yeah, they've sold him, Madison and Harvey Barnes, yeah.
Yeah. But I think the tip not to do well this season, Birmingham a tip to finish 21st according to the Opta mode.
Oh, man.
But when you look at who they brought in, I don't think they're going to be that bad. They brought in Ethan Laird from Man United, Siriki Dembele from Bournemouth, who the kid who was fantastic when he was at Peterborough. They got Dion Sanderson on a full-time transfer from Wolves. I think that's a decent addition to what they've got. I mean, they sold Tahith Chong to Luton for 4 million. Chong is about as much of a Premier League footballer as I am. Obviously, Joe Bellingham came to us.
Yeah.
But when you look through the transfer dealings of all of the clubs, nobody's really spent a lot of money. Coventry spent 7 on Sims.
There isn't.
And then they've got a whole load of cheap ones.
And
they sold Victor Gyökeres for 20 million.
There's still a month left, isn't there?
There is. But honestly, I don't think you should be able. I think you should be able to buy in the close season, but day one of the season, that's it. It's done.
I agree, but then you see, like, it might open up a bit now because the Premier League squads are getting sorted, aren't they? So once the Premier League start getting rid of players, things start to fall, don't they? So.
And look, we haven't brought in any loan players yet, so you know you're going to have a couple of top quality loan players.
Yeah.
But I mean, even I look at Leicester, they brought in Callum Doyle on loan from City, who we know is a decent player.
Yeah.
Harry Winks from Tottenham for 10 million. I think Tottenham have had their pants down on that one. I don't think Winks is a 10 million quid player. And then Connor Cody, who looked suspect at Everton all season for 8.5.
A great signing, Connor Cody.
I don't think he is, mate.
Oh, mate, he pissed the championship.
I think 4 years ago he would have been a fantastic signing.
He'd be the best centre back in this league this season.
After Ballard.
Oh, mate, he's quality, Connor Cody.
We'll see. But I think when you look at who Leicester have lost, I mean, they've lost Barnes, they've lost Madison, Ayoze Perez. I mean, I know that Soyuncu wasn't really playing. They lost Tielemans to Villa. Right. Daniel Amarty's gone. Ryan Bertman's gone. Mendy's gone. Johnny Evans has joined Man United.
Strange on that.
He was just training there to keep fit, and they liked what they saw when he was with the under-21s.
Yeah.
And they figured, look, he's got experience. He knows the club.
Mm-hmm.
Borough, for me, are the ones that I think might be the champions this season.
Right.
I think they've done reasonably well in their transfer dealings. I don't really know many of these. Seni Dieng from QPR I thought was a good signing for them. I don't think they'll be out of the top 3 much this season.
Yeah.
Fucking hate my dogs. This is why I miss my old house. Could you hear that?
Which old house? You've got about 5.
Both of them. Well, I've only got 2 in the last 15 years. But yeah, I mean, look, Kevin Nisbet signing for Hibs, I thought he would have been a good pickup for us.
Yeah, the kid from Hibs.
Yeah, he's gone to Millwall for 2 million. I mean, that's a bargain.
We ain't got 2 million.
Yeah, we have, man. Honestly, the way that KLD was throwing money around to get on to the Atlanta flight, so he didn't have to wait 6 hours for the next Dallas flight. He's like, I'll just throw money at it.
Yeah, it's fucking hell. It's a flight, mate. Fucking hell.
I was like, why didn't you just buy a fucking lease a jet? Like, he's got the money to do it.
Couldn't afford one.
Norwich are interesting. Like they really did flatter to deceive last year. I thought they should have done a lot better than they did.
But even Swansea, I mean, they picked up towards the end of last season, didn't they? And they play some good stuff. So, you know,
I think Norwich are actually weaker than they were last year. Obviously, they've lost Pookie, who was their talismanic striker. Pookie, as you would say.
No, I call him Pookie.
And when I look at things like, I mean, the signing of Ashley Barnes on a free really doesn't do much for me. Yeah, they haven't spent a penny from what I can see. Like Jack Stacey, whoever he is, Bournemouth free, Shane Duffy free, Ashley Barnes free.
He wants to sort of salute Delia, don't she?
I'd be alright as long as she's making us some cakes at half time. Like
the more cookbooks knocked out and stuff, don't she?
But yeah, I mean, look, when I look at the teams, the signings teams have made, I think we can make the playoffs at a push. And we've got to be lucky with injuries, which we weren't last season.
Yeah.
And I think we have to cut out some of the stupid defeats that we had last season.
Yeah.
Like the Stoke game where we just didn't turn up, or the second half against Burnley, or the first game against Middlesbrough at the Riverside.
But even when we're in control of games, like Coventry's, QPR's, and we throw leads away late.
Closing them out, yeah. QPR, was it first home game of the season? QPR, 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go.
You're 2-0 up. I mean, just see the fucking game out. Do what you need to do. You know?
Right, so who's going to be the surprise package of the championship this season?
Sheffield Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah. There you go. I think we'll do okay.
Where do you think they'll finish?
Top half.
That's not a bad. I mean, they got Ashley Fletcher, who you know is not going to score goals for them.
Yeah, but I think they got rid of the manager, which I was surprised at because I think he done a cracking job.
Yeah, their owner came out and started to criticize him about how he was wanting new contract this and big money that, and the manager came out and said, "Look, I just wanted money to spend on the team. I wasn't bothered about getting paid. I've been paid enough from the club."
I was surprised that I fancied them to do well, and then he went, and I thought they might, I
think they'll be bottom half, if I'm honest. I don't think they've really strengthened with quality that you need in this division.
Right.
And I don't think
Bannon's a top player though.
Yeah, but he's 74, mate.
He's a good player.
You might be able to do it in League One, but can you do it at Stoke on a Tuesday night?
No, you can do it, mate. Top player, him.
So my surprise team this year is going to be for all the wrong reasons, and it's Leeds United.
Leeds, yeah.
They've only brought in Carl Darlow from Newcastle and Ampadu from Chelsea, but they've got rid of so many players and made no money on them.
Right.
I think they're going to struggle. I really do. I know they just got bought out by the ownership group for the 49ers. But I think they'll struggle.
Do you really?
Tell Jess to go away.
What?
I'm guessing you keep looking over at Jess.
No, there was a car in my way.
The car in your way?
Like, I've got, like, big windows at the front. Like, if a hitman ever wanted it, it'd be dead easy to get because I've got windows. Like, me whole front bit's windows. So when, like, I'm in a farm, but, like, there's a car coming down the driveway and I didn't know who it was, you see.
So let's wrap it up then, because I didn't want to keep you away from looking at your windows.
Yeah, no, you're good.
So Ipswich on Sunday, as we've said. Result?
Listen, can I put my bet on a goal scorer instead?
To score any time or first?
First.
All right. Who is it?
Big Hemia.
All right. I still want your prediction, though.
1-1.
I think we start with a 2-0 win.
Go on, I'll tell you what, son.
and then we don't win again until November. No, I think we'll have a decent season. Again, I look at if you offered me now to take how the Opta supercomputer model showed the season, would I take 5th with 71 points? Yeah, quite happily.
Yeah.
But that's just when you look at how skewed this thing is. It's got third bottom finishing with 53 points. And no team has gone down with that many points in so long. Do I think it's going to be a closer division this year? Probably not. I think your top 4 or 5 will stretch away. I think your bottom 3 will really struggle.
Right.
I don't see any future for QPR. I think they're doomed. I don't see anything going well for Cardiff. I think they're awful. And I think Rotherham are going to go down as well.
Who?
Rotherham.
Rotherham.
And then for the 3 to go up, like I said, I fancy Borough to win the league, unfortunately.
Right.
If Southampton can keep Ward-Prowse.
Ward-Prowse, you said that good there. So.
If they can keep Ward-Prowse, which I don't think they will, I think he'll go to West Ham.
Yeah.
I mean, the Opta computer has got them finishing outside of the playoffs.
Right.
I don't think they will. I think Borough will win. I think Leicester will probably be second.
I thought when you said that, I thought Leicester as well. Yeah, I
think Leicester will spend some more of that money that's coming. I mean, 80 million. They've only spent 10 so far.
Yeah, I agree.
No, they spent 18 of it. Right. But even if they only spend half of what they got, they still gives them 20 million, which is going to be more than any other club spends.
The parachute team, you've seen it last season with Burnley. Although Burnley done really well and spent really well, but I just think just having that parachute flexibility. And not buying a club like we did, you know.
It makes a huge difference. But I think when you look at Burnley, they didn't have wholesale changes. They were able to keep the majority of their squad together, and they were fantastically well coached.
Yeah, they were. You've done a brilliant job.
I still think they're going down this season.
Do you?
I don't see them staying up.
Nah. I don't really care about the Premier League now.
No, I don't either until we're in it. All right, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. It was great to see you in San Antonio.
Yeah, likewise, mate. It really was.
Dad's an absolute legend.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that we tag him and everything when I put the video up this week.
Yeah,
so you've got 1-1 draw on Sunday. I've got a 2-0 win. You've got Hemi to score first.
Yep.
And you said we'll finish where in the table?
Well, listen, I've got to say the playoffs, haven't I?
Where? That's 4 places.
There is, but you know.
Just give me a number.
5th.
5th.
Come on, top 5 got to be on it.
I'll take that. I mean, again, the Opta computer says 5th. When you look at the way the teams have spent their money,
yeah,
it's doable. It definitely is. So, of
course it is.
Look, as long as we have a good season. And we can, if we can see progression, I'm happy. Even if that means we don't get in the playoffs, but you see progression on the field and we could have some of those stupid defeats, I'll be happy.
Well, that wouldn't be progression, would it?
I think it would. I think that last season was an anomaly.
Not finishing in the playoffs wouldn't be progression. It would be a backward step.
I don't think it would because I think last year was a freak year.
But it wouldn't be progression, wouldn't though?
We'll agree to disagree, Sean. Again, I'm all for the long-term model. I know you just want a quick spuffing in the Premier League, so
I do.
I think that's where we're different. All right. Well, listen, mate, it was a pleasure having you on. As always, mate. We'll get you on a couple of times during the season.
We've got a New York meeting coming up in for the Ipswich game, haven't we? So,
have you? I mean, I don't live in New York anymore, and obviously I'm in Tampa now, and I've got anybody down here.
I've seen it.
That's also good. It means I don't have any Newcastle fans that I know of down here either.
Yep. I didn't see any.
Honestly, mate, it wouldn't surprise me if I had a barbecue for me and one other Sunderland supporter down here. You'd have some Newcastle fan turn up just to ruin the barbecue.
With a scarf or a flag, yeah, no.
And did you see them in Philadelphia mocking the Brentford fan thinking it was a Sunderland top?
No.
So Brentford were playing Fulham in Philadelphia. And some lad went past with a Brentford top on. And the Newcastle fans in the beer tent were giving him shit and singing anti-Sunderland songs at him. Embarrassing, they are, mate. All that money and they're still knackers. Oh, I hope they don't get into Europe next season.
Yeah,
Funny as
good.
fuck.
That will
Knocked
be.
out in the prelims in the Champions League. Knocked out of the UEFA League. Don't make it to the fizzy whatever.
No, they'll end up in that dog shit fucking league West Ham one, and they'll win the bastard.
Oh, that'd be all. I just hope they win nothing ever.
Yeah, so do I. Obviously.
All right. So on that note, mate, we'll say goodbye, guys. That's all we have time for this week on our Stars and Stripes and Maple Syrup. We will be back after the Ipswich game. No idea who we're going to have on yet because I'm really badly organised this summer. But we'll catch you later, mate. Take care.
Thank you.